Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. Today is our college game preview. It's the Nebraska Cornhuskers taking on Ohio State Buckeyes. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. And I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Let me start. It's the South Day season, October the 24th, 2020. And the best team in the Big Ten is the Ohio State Buckeyes. Let me break them down. When you think about the Buckeyes, what comes to my mind following this great program over the years since I've been on this great face of earth for 60 years, you look at them as tough, raw, and uncut. That's what the Buckeye Nation is about. And you think about all the great coaches they've had. And the number one coach was Woody Hayes. But you think about the players, Jack Tatum, Rex Kern, Jim Steelwagon, Eddie George, Troy Smith, A.J. Hawk, the Bozer brothers, Nick and Joey, man, Eddie George. I'm going to say his name one more time. Chase Young, Orlando Pace. That's what Ohio State football is about. It's tough, rough, and raw. And they board this Saturday against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So I asked the Buckeye Nation, who's going to fit that bill off this team of the great Buckeyes of the past? Let me start with the young man down here in Marietta, Georgia, by way of high school. He came last year, 41 touchdowns, 3 INTs. He was up there in New York as a third finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Justin Fields might be the best quarterback in the country. He's bringing his buddy who's known in high school, and remember this name, Trey Sermon. Oh, yeah, he's the guy that's coming from Oklahoma to handle 2,000 yards. Now he's in the backfield with his childhood friend. Both families know each other. Now they're singing the Ohio State Buckeyes. The other guy who's going to join this great group, Ohio State has had great pass rushers in the past. Chase Young has set the tone. Joey Bosa has set the tone. Nick Bosa has set the tone. Remember this name. He's a sophomore. Zach Harrison is going to lead that Ohio State defense. And then in the secondary, think about all them great players they've had back there. As I mentioned, Mr. Tatum. I'm going to throw a name out there, Neil Cozy. Another name, Denzel Ward. Another name, Marshawn Lattimore. But Shaun Wade is finna carry fraternity U. D-back U at Ohio State. And he's finna play at a high level. I think he's the best defensive back in the country. No disrespect to the people here at 100 Yards Football over there. To my brother who I love, the legend Bobby Butler. He proclaimed Florida State D-back. But I'm thinking Ohio State with Shaun Wade might take that crown this year. And then offensive line. Wyatt Davis might be the best offensive lineman in the country. He comes from great bloodline. His grandfather was one of the best football players that played in the National Football League out of Texarkana, Arkansas, by the way of Grambling University, the great Willie Davis. Well, Mr. Wyatt Davis, you know, is going to carry that heritage and that history. He might be the best offensive line in the country. Best offensive lineman in the country. Then you look at the Buckeyes on the outside. They still got Gary Wilson coming back, Chris Avale, and they got the best freshman in the country in Julian Fleming. This is a very talented Buckeye team, and they coming on Saturday to prove to the country that they are best team, and they belong in the categories of Clemson and Alabama. Now let's talk about the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Scott Frost, in his 3 years, I think has done a very good job in what he came in with. If you look at Nebraska, for them to be successful this season, think about this. When Nebraska has been very successful, I'm going to throw out some names that's been on the center. Jerry Taggy, 1971. Turner Gill, 1983. Tommy Frazier, 1995. Every time Nebraska has had a high-level quarterback, their program has been at another level. Eric Kraft's Heisman Trophy winner. Adrian Martinez, the young man out of Fresno, California, has to stay healthy this year if Nebraska is going to make some noise over there in the Big Ten West. He got some ballers with him. Waddell Robinson out of Kentucky is coming back for his sophomore year. Derek Mills is one of the best running backs in the Big Ten West. Then you look at defensively. This is a Buckeye team. This is a Cornhusker team that gave up a lot of yards, but they're bringing back one of the best players in the conference at any position. I like this Alabama. Cam Taylor Brent is one of the best players in the country. He's starting at cornerback this year, but he's played linebacker and safety. They got a young man out of the Metro Atlanta area. remember this name, Miles Farmer Jr. Played at Westlake at a high level. As we broadcast locally here in the Atlanta area, he played for a school down the road in Westlake High School. Got a lot of history. So this Nebraska team, to me, is all about Adrian Martinez. If he plays well, then the Cornhuskers are going to be a force to deal with in the Big Ten. But I'm going to get back to the Ohio State Buckeyes. I love this team. I love their coach, Ryan Day. I love Justin Fields. I think, in my opinion, now, I think he might be the best player in the country at that position. I know a lot of people in Clemson might get mad at me today because they do have a stud in Trevor Lawrence. I understand this. But think about Justin Fields. And transferred out of Georgia 1 year, came in and learned a new system, 41 touchdowns, 3 INTs, over 3,000 yards passing. I seen a young man do it when he was a sophomore at Harrison High School in Cobb County here in Marietta. And he's big, strong. He's the next big thing that's coming to the NFL. And he bringing his partner in crime, who he know personally, in Trey Sermon. The Buckeyes are getting a roll, man. I'm talking about history again. Michael Thomas all over. You see what I'm saying? The Buckeye Nation is the best team in the Big Ten, might be the best team in the country. And I forgot one thing. They returned all their senior linebackers. I don't mean to give no disrespect. Byron Browning, Tuck Bowling, and Peter Warren. Hey, phenomenal football players and they seniors. Ryan Day has got that machine. So that being said, on Saturday, October the 24th, 2020, the Buckeye Nation is going to roll. I predict they're going to win big, and they're going to show the nation 41-17. They're going to come out of the gates. It's just like when you look at the state of Ohio, and I think about Ohio State football, I think about when I was a junior at Southside High School in Memphis, and we had a jukebox in the lunchroom, right? Somebody put 50 Cent in, and that song came by a great band out of the state of Ohio by the name of the Isley Brothers. And they had this climbing up the ladder. I keep pushing, and I'm bound to know. Well, you know what? The Ohio State Buckeyes with Justin Fields is bound to let the country know that Buckeye Nation is the number 1 team in the country. That being said, if you like the video today, please comment and share it. I'm Vincent Turner here, 100 yards of football. Buckeye Nation, and to the Cornhuskers, God bless. In my final words, don't forget it. I'm AKA Vincent Turner, and I'm the baby boy and the only son of Chester and Inez Turner from the 901 in Memphis, Tennessee. Go Buckeyes. Dun 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 dun.